Nearly 75% of the COVID infections from the recent cluster in Provincetown occurred in people who are fully vaccinated. Here to answer your questions is Dr. Robert Finberg, professor of medicine at UMass Medical School in Worcester. Doctor, thank you so much for joining us. We do want to ask you, the CDC published its study of the outbreak just a few hours ago. What do the results tell you about the way this Delta variant is spreading?
Yeah, the Delta variant is spreading incredibly fast. In early June, it was less than 10% here, and now it's clearly the dominant strain in Massachusetts and the rest of the country. It seems to be able to compete all the other strains, and it's spreading fast.
Well, very fast. If June, now we're only at the end of July. Dr. Finberg, almost 80% of people with those so-called breakthrough infections experience symptoms. So I'm going to ask you a twofold question here. Does that mean the vaccines are not working as well? And are we noticing breakthroughs on one or another type of vaccination? In other words, the J&J shot or the Pfizer or the Moderna shot?
There are variations between the shots. The data indicates that the vaccines do protect against severe disease. What unfortunately they do not do is to prevent all infections. And as we see more vaccinated people, we will see some infections in vaccinated. What it does prevent, and this is what the large studies have shown, is hospitalizations and severe disease.
Well, Governor Baker released new guidelines today urging people who are fully vaccinated to wear face masks indoors if they are at high risk for serious symptoms or may live with someone who is. It also applies to households where someone may be unvaccinated. That is, of course, going to get the attention of a lot of parents with children under the age of 12 who cannot get the vaccine yet. What do you want them to know about protecting their kids from this variant?
Well, I think we need to remember that although young people will get this virus, it's old people that are going to get hospitalized and die of it. And we need to worry about vulnerable people. So right now, in the last couple of weeks, a lot of young people, the biggest age group was 20 to 29, acquired the virus. What we need to do is to protect the people 60 and above and who have comorbid conditions. So for that reason, we need to get our young people to either get vaccinated if they can or wear masks if they can.
Well, and to that very point, President Biden says that the U.S. has hit a brick wall. Those are the president's words with vaccinations. Is that true for Massachusetts, too? And what can public health officials do about that, if so?
We need to climb that wall.
Yeah.
That's what we need to do. We get over it. So incentives help, and that may help. I failed in the last lottery, but I'm going to join the next one. I think as people see their friends and relatives get the vaccine and see that there are no ill effects, that it's effective, that we will see more people getting the vaccine. Also, public health officials need to indulge in education about vaccines and their safety. That's how I think we're going to get there. There's no downside to that.
What do you say, Dr. Finberg? Keep pounding the pavement, right? Keep driving the point home, right?
We'll get through that wall.
Dr. Finberg, thanks so much for your time. Have a great weekend.
Thank you.
Great to see you.